You're watching WHSV News 3. 11 minutes of nonstop news and weather starts right now.
The summer travel season is about to begin. Good evening, everyone. I'm Deon Guillory.
And I'm Allison Bruner.
We start tonight with breaking news first. A bridge collapse in Washington State. Take a look at this picture. This happened just minutes ago on the Interstate 5 Skagit River Bridge in Washington State. This is near the Seattle area. You can see that portion of the bridge in the water below. This is both the north and southbound lanes. We are also told that people and vehicles are in that water right now. We, of course, will keep a close eye on this developing breaking news story and bring you any new information as soon as we get it.
Right now, millions of people are getting ready to pack up and hit the roads for the Memorial Day weekend.
And in about an hour, state police will start increasing patrols to keep you safe. WHSV's David Coy is live tonight with a preview. David.
Deon, people are getting ready to go on their Memorial Day weekend, but one thing that I might be surprised is when they hit the road, you may see fewer cars. This Memorial Day weekend may be a little easier for those traveling. Kendall Taylor and her family are driving to North Carolina for a golf tournament.
We're leaving Thursday so that we don't have to get caught up in the traffic tomorrow, because anywhere tomorrow we'll have a lot of traffic, no doubt.
According to the AAA Mid-Atlantic, slightly more than 1 million people from Virginia will be on the road. That's 1.6% down from last year. Despite those predictions, Taylor says Monday's traffic will still be bad.
I think Friday and Monday are the worst days to travel around on Memorial Day weekend because of how much traffic there is everywhere.
Amber Farron is going to Boston this weekend. She's driving and flying.
I'm hoping to leave a little bit early, so I'm not going to hit it too bad, but it's a little easier on the budget because I'm going to park my car with friends. So
during the holiday weekend, state police will increase its patrols on the highways, making sure you're safe and buckling your seatbelt. Some people say they will just make it a staycation and stay home this holiday weekend.
Work is very busy, somewhat stressful, but I will really enjoy my day off.
AAA predicts more than 923,000 vehicles on the road. That's down about 4,000 vehicles. State police will continue its increased patrols until midnight Monday. To reduce most traffic, VDOT plans to stop all their construction tomorrow afternoon, and that will last until Tuesday afternoon. Live in Harrisonburg, I'm David Coy, WHSV.
New details tonight on changes coming to the Boy Scouts. Openly gay boys will now be allowed to join scouting. Now, this vote followed months of debate, but there are still some restrictions when it comes to membership. John Schriffrin explains.
These are tears of joy after the Boy Scouts of America decided Thursday to lift the national ban on allowing openly gay scouts.
This is what we've been working for. It's a small step in the right direction, but it's huge in another way.
We want every kid to have a place where they belong, to learn and grow and feel protected.
In an ABC News, Yahoo News Power Players interview, the executive director of Scouts for Equality says this is an important moment for the nation.
When we talk about homophobia, literally the fear around this issue is people can have real person-to-person conversations and understand that there isn't anything to be afraid of.
But all week, thousands have rallied across the country, like this protest in Raleigh, North Carolina, urging the National Council to keep the century-old organization the way it is.
We'll be required to teach homosexuality to young boys as young as 6 and as old as 17, and have to explain to them what that is. And I think that sexual discussion needs to be at home with the parents.
Even Texas Republican Governor Rick Perry, an Eagle Scout, is opposed to the change that will impact the more than 2.5 million youth members.
Scouting is about teaching a substantial amount of life lessons. Sexuality is not one of them.
The Boy Scouts of America says the change will go into effect at the beginning of next year. But this will not reverse the ban on allowing gay adult scout leaders. Only New York and Connecticut have decided to vote on changing that as well. John Schriffin, ABC News, Los Angeles.
We're checking in tonight on the Transprint factory. You may remember when we first brought you the story a few months ago about employees not getting paid. The factory went under new management in March, and it's trying to start fresh. It remodeled the outside in new green spaces and fixed old signs. Management is cleaning all the machines inside the factory, but the company did not allow us to go inside. The company fell into hard times while still in operation and didn't pay its employees for months.
The atmosphere around here is completely different. You see people with smiles on their face now when they're working, and that's a huge part of working for a good company.
The cleanup for the heavy machinery will be finished June 2nd.
In Moore, Oklahoma, a funeral for a 9-year-old girl is the first one for the 24 victims of Monday's tornado. 10 of them were children. Now, this would have been the last day of school in a normal school year. And as Marcy Gonzalez explained, some teachers returned to this, the scene of so much pain.
A look inside the wrecked remains of Plaza Towers Elementary School, where a single chalkboard stands in the rubble as an ominous reminder of how an ordinary school day so quickly turned deadly.
I just laid on my babies and I tried to save them.
Teacher Jennifer Simons returned to the school in Moore, Oklahoma, where the 6 kindergartners in her class survived Monday's tornado, but 7 other students did not. The first of the victims, 9-year-old Antonia Candelaria, laid to rest today. On such a gray, solemn morning, an effort to lift the spirits of her classmates, as well as students from the other elementary school destroyed in the storm.
High five. High five. Good boy.
On what would have been the last day of school, they gathered for some much-needed hugs.
It makes me real glad because some of my house got ripped down, and it makes me glad to see my friends and that they're alive.
A chance to try to say thank you when words just don't feel like enough.
She's shielded with her own body to protect my daughter. You know, I'm never gonna have anything, any words to repay her for what she did.
The stories of so many heroes still emerging, and they, along with countless others impacted by this tornado, will gather on Sunday for a memorial service honoring the victims. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Moore, Oklahoma.
Our thanks to Marcy there. Many of the homes in Oklahoma have basements, but here in the valley, they are rare. So here's what you should do if disaster strikes. Mike Brady with the Harrisonburg Fire Department recommends that if you make it down to the lowest floor, that's the first thing you should do. But if you can't make it there, go somewhere in your home without windows, like a center room or a bathroom. He also says you should also, and always, have an emergency plan.
If you hear a hurricane watch or a hurricane warning or tornado watch or a tornado warning, start being and thinking about what you're going to do during the watch and be ready to do it during the warning, because the warning means it's here, it's coming.
Brady says you should also keep flashlights and a battery-operated radio very handy. Also, you should have enough food to last you 3 days. For more on this, go to WHSV.com and click the Find It button.
It looks like a Tootsie Roll, but this candy does more than just satisfy your sweet tooth. THC is a chemical that is in pot, and now it's in a candy. Unwrapping a Chewby Chew may not be the same as smoking pot, but health experts say the effects are. The taffy is made for medical marijuana patients, but it's also a powerful temptation for teens. A Valley substance abuse counselor says THC accumulates in your system, making it harmful to your overall health.
I've referred to it as the frog in the kettle drug, the whole analogy of putting a frog in cold water on a stove and he won't jump out. But if you gradually heat the water up, he'll stay in there to the boiling point and die. THC is sort of like that.
Law enforcement says the chews are illegal in Virginia and that they are not a problem here in the Valley.
New details tonight in the George Zimmerman case. Now, you may remember he's the neighborhood watch volunteer who killed Trayvon Martin last year. Now, tonight, his lawyers have released new evidence taken from Martin's cell phone. That evidence includes text message discussions of drug use, photos of marijuana, and Martin blowing smoke and a picture of a firearm. The attorneys for Martin's family say that evidence is irrelevant.
New at 11, forecasters say it's going to be a busy Atlantic hurricane season, all because of warmer than average water temperatures. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Climate Prediction Center says we can expect between 7 to 10 hurricanes this year, with 6 of those being major storms.
keeping you and your family safe with 4 radar sweeps. When severe weather strikes, you want the power of 4 First Alert Doppler radars.
So after experiencing a fairly busy tornado startup season, now we're going to have our hands full with a lot of hurricanes. We'll keep an eye on those for you through the season as well. Right now, we're keeping an eye on this storm activity we've experienced earlier tonight. Satellite radar showing us a little bit of rain still up and down the I-81, starting to push to the east, and the stronger storms now all the way over to the I-95 corridor, so they are a little bit busy over there. Did get some strong downpours tonight. Some of the rainfall totals, 1.5 inches in Woodstock, Bergton, just about an inch. Harrisonburg, we had just about 7/10 of an inch, 1/2 inch in Grottos, and then you get down to Waynesboro and Franklin at 1/4 inch. So, and then there were people who got very little, a couple of hundredths of an inch, 1/10 of an inch. Didn't amount to too much at all. It was all really a product of the storm cells as they passed through your areas. Interesting as it was, and since there was rain, we'll take it. Never have too much of that before the summer. 63 outside the studios, cloudy. Dew point is at 60 degrees. Letting you know that there's still the possibility of a little shower tonight, or maybe even a thunderstorm, more likely just a shower, and winds out of the northwest, so they have started to turn, and we'll be getting some cooler and drier air in here. The temperatures around the area tonight is called in by weather watchers, generally in the lower mid-60s. 65 Waynesboro, 10th Legion 67, that was the big number. 61 in Stanley, 62 at Dan up in Mount Jackson, Woodstock at 61. Going to be dropping into the 50s and then the lower 50s as you go to the west tonight, so it's going to be a bit chilly, but you open those windows. Oh, good sleeping weather. Midnight, we see the frontal system cold front getting ready to push right on through. Oh, let it do that, because behind it it's going to be much cooler and certainly drier as we move into the weekend. Great weekend coming our way, but look out here. Yeah, that's how cool it's going to be. Now, we're not going to look for any measurable snowfall, but we're looking at a little wintry mix on the western-facing slopes there as we get some of that colder air from the north. So it'll be a cooler day tomorrow and a windy day, but I think a very acceptable one. You'll be happy with that as opposed to a little relief from some of the rainfall and storms that we had tonight. Overnight lows in the upper 50s here in the valley, 57 down Waynesboro, Woodstock 56, 57 over there in Luray. Buffalo Gap at 56, around 50 degrees when we look to the Highlands. Still a slight chance for some showers, although I don't believe you're going to see anything wonderfully measurable tonight. Tomorrow, a noticeably windier day for sure. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Might see a couple of upper 60s here in the valley. 66 is Elkton, Waynesboro, Moorfield 63, 60 in Franklin, Petersburg 61, a little bit cooler there. Absolutely a unique dichotomy of weather between the first couple days and the next few days, folks, that's coming our way. So we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast now. And with that, we do have 3 green bars, so the weather's going to be good. Slight chance of a little shower activity first thing in the morning, then it's going to be clearing, a bit windy. 66 to 70 on Saturday, staying in the lower 70s as we move through the weekend. And your Memorial Day, well, that's going to be in the lower 70s as well. This is just great get outside kind of weather, whatever activities you have planned for the weekend. And then as we move through the week, well, warm back up into the lower 80s where we should be as we get ready to run into June, the month of June.
Wow, already.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So not too bad. We survived tonight, had some flash flooding. No reports of any major flooding, but had that possibility for a little while. And we got some rain we could use.
Yeah, definitely.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks, George. If you're looking for work, one industry is on a hiring blitz. Here who's ready to add to the workforce.
But first, if you're hitting the road for the holiday weekend, make sure your car is ready for the trip. The simple things you can do to keep your ride running smoothly. And of all, we want to give you an update on this breaking news that we told you about at the top of the newscast. A bridge collapse in Washington State. You're looking at the picture of the bridge. Both the northbound and southbound sides of Interstate 5 at the Skagit River Bridge have collapsed. You can see part of that bridge in the water below. We are told that there are people in the water, but it's not clear how many are there and the extent of their injuries. We don't know what has caused the collapse of this. A newspaper reporter at the scene has been saying that sheriff's office rescue boats are there and rescue crews are looking for people in the water. Apparently someone has seen one person sitting atop one car that is in the water and could see a second vehicle as well. Crowds of people are lined up here trying to get a look at what's going on, and they're asked to stay away from this. This bridge, from what we've been told and the research that we found, was built back in 1955 and is used by 70,000 vehicles daily. That's according to statistics from 2010. Of course, we will continue to follow this story and bring you any new information as soon as we get it. Now to a story new at 11. With many people preparing to hit the road this holiday weekend, more of us are holding on to our cars longer than ever, and that means expensive maintenance. But there are some simple things you can do to keep your ride running smoothly in this Consumer Alert. With car repair costs on the rise, up 10% last year, according to CarMD, you'll want to be a proactive owner, ensuring your car is poised for optimal performance. And it starts with the basics. The experts at Edmunds.com recommend you check your tire pressure once a month and inflate if necessary. This will improve your gas mileage, the overall life of your tires, and ensure your car can respond efficiently in an emergency. Rotating your tires helps them wear at the same rate. You can extend the life of your engine and get more miles out of every tank by changing your air filter every year or 12,000 miles. And of course, keep up with routine oil changes. Whatever you do, don't ignore the check engine light. CarMD says that light could simply be telling you to check your gas cap, or it could be more serious. If your oxygen sensor is faulty, ignoring it could add up to an additional $900 a year in gas. Bad spark plugs or ignition coils will also eat into gas mileage and could damage your catalytic converter. And that's a part you really don't want to ignore. The cost to replace a catalytic converter could easily top $1,000. Taking steps to maintain your car may cost a bit of time and money, but it could save big bucks down the road. And if you want to save a trip to the mechanic and diagnose the problem yourself, there are a number of engine light code readers available to buy online. And if you do go to an auto repair shop, don't be afraid to get a second opinion.
Well, it might cost you more to gas up over the Memorial Day holiday, and the housing recovery continues. Bloomberg's Ellen Breitman has the details.
Buyers last month snapped up new homes at the second highest rate in 5 years, and the number of fired workers applying for unemployment benefits in the most recent week fell, both helping U.S. stocks avoid the brunt of a global stock sell-off that was sparked in part by a surprise contraction in manufacturing in China. All right, teens and other folks looking for summer work, the restaurant industry in hiring mode, planning to add almost 450,000 jobs this summer. National Restaurant Association says that's more than last summer, with California, New York, Massachusetts, and Texas expected to hire the most. And as we officially kick off summer with Memorial Day weekend, AAA says be prepared for gas prices to go up over the next few days. And more ads targeted at people who tweet. Bloomberg told Twitter plans to release a tool that makes it easier for advertisers to find their customers who also use the microblogging site. Facebook started a similar service last year. All right, I'm Ellen Breitman in New York with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
I'm a hard worker every day. I'm a hard worker. I'm working every day. I'm a hard worker, and I'm saving all my pay. If I ever get some money put away, I'm gonna take it all out, celebrate. I'm a hard worker.
Membership rallied millions of us on Small Business Saturday to make shopping small huge. This is what membership is. This is what membership does.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hugh Lance with the Lance & Gokenhour Investment Group of Wells Fargo Advisors. And here are your stocks of local interest for Thursday.
Check in on a story revolving around a decade-old safe that needed to be removed in order for Klein May Realty to put its front door on. Well, less than 24 hours after our story aired, the safe found a new owner. Carl with Klein May Realty tells me they will pick it up Saturday.
Now look at this, actor Morgan Freeman sleeping during an interview. Yes, he and Michael Caine were doing satellite interviews for their new movie, Now You Can See Me, but in parts of this, now you can see Morgan Freeman taking a little nap. Their new movie hits theaters next week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hopefully I can stay awake today.
Right,
It was
all of us, because it's been a long day. But you've got a lot of sports to talk about.
I do. It was a busy night, and weather did play a role, but we do have ACC tournament and CAA tournament baseball highlights on the way, as well as plenty of playoff spots and district tournament titles on the line across the valley. We got
we'll see what happens.
We'll check it out tomorrow.
All right, new information on breaking news after the break. We've got new information on that breaking news. We've been following that bridge collapse in Washington State. Take a look at these live pictures from Skagit County, Washington. You see this boat right here, a rescue boat trying to find people in the water below this bridge that collapsed just about maybe 45 minutes to an hour ago. We are told at this point at least one person has been pulled from the water, but it's unknown how many more people may still be in the water and how many cars are there. You can see what looks like maybe an SUV that these rescuers are trying to get to at least pull someone out of there. It's a rescue mission at this point. Right now, this is a still developing story, and of course, we will continue to keep you updated on what's going on with this developing story.
Our weekend is about to arrive as far as weather, folks. Great Memorial Day weather ahead. Get outside and enjoy it.
All right, that's it for us. See you back here tomorrow.